Danny Mack. Dan Gable is a retired American Olympic wrestler and head coach. He is best known for his tenure as head coach at the University of Iowa, where he won 15 NCAA team titles between 1976 and 1997. He is also famous for having only lost one match in his entire Iowa State University collegiate career, his last Euro, and winning a gold medal at the 1972 Olympic Games in Munich, Germany, while not giving up a single point. October 25, 2013 was recognized as Dan Gable Day in Iowa. Early life: Gable grew up in the small industrial town of Waterloo, Iowa. When he was a little boy, his home life was not great and he always thought his parents were on the brink of divorce with how much they fought. He would even spend his nights watching out the front window when they went out just to make sure they always came back. His parents believed in corporal punishment and the cops were called to the Gable residence several times due to his father getting drunk and beating his kids. Along with wrestling, Gable excelled at many sports before his sophomore year, making the commitment to being a one-sport athlete. He was a YMCA state champion in swimming, the quarterback of his junior high football team, and also very skilled in baseball. High school career: competing for Waterloo West High School, Gable posted a 64-0 high school record en route to winning 3 Iowa State Scholastic Championships. 1964 Class AA Individual State Champion 95 pounds, 1965 Class AA Individual State Champion 103 pounds, 1966 Class AA Individual State Champion 112 pounds. Although Gable was not permitted to wrestle on the varsity wrestling squad during his freshman year, his only recorded high school loss was during his freshman year when he lost an official match to state champ Matt Lehman. As a sophomore in high school, Gable experienced a personal tragedy. His older sister, Diane, was molested and murdered May 31, 1964, in the Gable family home, while Dan and his parents were on vacation. Diane Gable's killer, John Thomas Kyle, pled guilty to charges in connection with her death and was sentenced to life in prison. Kyle died in a Kansas state penitentiary on June 17, 2011. Gable was in northeast Iowa, the same area where he was vacationing when his sister was killed, when he learned of Kyle's death. Gable later recalled that the event gave him a singular passion for wrestling as a way to uplift his shattered family. In his documentary Gable, he said, "I needed to give them enough entertainment that they didn't have to look other places." In other interviews of Dan, he stated that, the tragic incident with his sister made me even more of a horse with blinders as far as wrestling went. Collegiate and freestyle career: after high school, Gable wrestled for the Iowa State University Cyclones of the Big 8 Conference. Gable wrestled for Iowa State's varsity squad for 3 years and won 2 NCAA titles. Gable's overall collegiate mark was 181-1. His only collegiate defeat was in his final match where he lost to Larry Owings of the University of Washington. Gable wrestled on the national freestyle wrestling circuit between 1967 and 1976 where he earned a record of 67-4. He wrestled internationally between 1971 and 1973 where he earned a record of 30-1. Overall, his freestyle record was 97-5. His biggest accomplishment was winning the 1972 Olympic medal even after the Soviet wrestling team had promised to scour the Eastern Bloc to find a wrestler who could take down Dan Gable. They were unsuccessful. 1967 Gable was not permitted to wrestle on the varsity wrestling squad at Iowa State University because of NCAA rules that did not permit freshmen to wrestle. 17-0 collegiate record: 1966 Euro 67 Midlands Tournament champion, wrestling unattached. Gable's domestic freestyle record in 1967 was 3-0. He went 3-0 at the U.S. Freestyle Nationals. 1968 37-0 collegiate record, Big 8 champion, NCAA national champion at 130 pounds. Gable's domestic freestyle record in 1968 was 8-2-1, including a 3-2-1 mark at the Olympic trials. 1969 30-0 collegiate record, 25 consecutive pins, 1968 a Euro 69 Midlands Tournament champion, Big 8 champion, NCAA national champion at 137 pounds, Gorarian Award winner 5 pins in 2059, US freestyle national champion. 1970 33-1 collegiate record, 1969 a Euro 70 Midlands Tournament champion, Big 8 champion, NCAA runner-up at 142 pounds, Gorarian Award winner. 5 pins in 2208, US freestyle national champion, dual champion with wins against Kawan Moore and Wade Stalling. 1971 1970 a Euro 71 Midlands Tournament champion, wrestling unattached. Gable's international freestyle record in 1971 was 17 a Euro 1 a Euro 0. Tied Nasrullah Nazaralov in a dual meet with Russia. Pan American Games champion, world freestyle champion in the 68 kg category at Sofia, Bulgaria. 1972 1971 a Euro 72 Midlands Tournament champion, wrestling unattached. Gable's international freestyle record in 1972 was 11 a Euro 0. TBLISI tournament champion. Olympic gold medalist men's freestyle, 68 kilograms. Did not surrender a single point in Olympic Games with an injured left knee and 7 stitches on his head he received in his first round match. 1973 Gable's international freestyle record in 1973 was 1 a Euro 0. Defeating Pavel Pinigan in a dual meet with Russia. Coaching career, Gable became head wrestling coach at the University of Iowa in 1976, and went on to be the most successful coach in American collegiate history. From 1978 to 1986, the Hawkeyes won the NCAA title each year, a record 9 in succession. He continued to coach the team until a sabbatical after the 1997 season due to the injuries keeping him from doing the hands-on coaching he thought his team deserves. His teams compiled a dual meet record of 355 a Euro 21 a Euro 5. He coached 152 All-Americans, 45 national champions, 106 Big Ten champions and 12 Olympians, including 4 gold, 1 silver and 3 bronze medalists. The Hawkeyes won 25 consecutive Big Ten championships, 21 under Gable as head coach and 4 while he was an assistant coach and administrator. He led them to a record 15 national titles. Despite his success, Gable was not honored as Big Ten Coach of the Year until 1993, which was his 17th year as Iowa's coach and his 17th Big Ten championship. By comparison, Jay Robinson of Minnesota has been given the award 7 times in his career. In 1997, the Hawkeyes were expected to lose to the favored Oklahoma State Cowboys. But Gable, who was by this time coaching on crutches after hip replacement surgery, led his team to its 17th NCAA team title and to an NCAA record 170 points. A documentary following him that year, Freestyle, The Victories of Dan Gable, directed by Kevin Kelly and produced by David L. Gould, aired on HBO 2. In addition to his leadership at the college level, Gable was head coach of the United States Olympic team in freestyle wrestling in 1980, 1984, and 2000. Gable's successor at Iowa, Jim Zalesky, won 3 NCAA titles under him. It was announced on April 14, 2006, that Gable would be rejoining the coaching staff at Iowa as top assistant coach to current coach and former Gable national champion Tom Brands. He did spend time as an assistant athletic director at the University of Iowa until 2012. Gable remains involved with the team, but stepped down from his assistant coach role in October 2011. Achievements and status in popular culture. Gable has frequently been a subject in American popular press. In an Esquire interview, actor and high school wrestler Tom Cruise considered Gable his greatest hero. Gable himself was profiled in Esquire by the novelist and former University of Pittsburgh wrestler John Irving. The story was entitled Gorgeous Dan. Gable was praised extensively during the speech given by the Iron Sheik at his induction to the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005. In 1999, Sports Illustrated selected him as the greatest sports figure in the history of the state of Iowa. During Gable's tenure as coach, the teen's sitcom Saved by the Bell referred to the University of Iowa, and a fictional coach that had appeared to scout AC Slater portrayed by Mario Lopez for their team. Gable appears in the documentary film Catch, The Hold Not Taken, in which he speaks of the origins of amateur wrestling. He recalls that, growing up, he knew high school wrestling as catch can, which is the name of the traditional style from Lancashire, England. In the movie Never Back Down, Gable is mentioned and is seen as the greatest Olympic wrestler ever. An author himself, in 1999 he published Coaching Wrestling Successfully, in which he shared his blueprint for developing wrestling champions. He has also created a series of wrestling instructional videos. Gable's unregistered trademark's accomplishments had even caught the attention of former President George W. Bush, who in 2002 named Gable to the Presidente Unregistered Trademark's Council on Physical Fitness. On April 18, 2012, the University of Iowa erected a bronze statue of its beloved former wrestling coach in his iconic pose, demanding from the referee a stalling call. On February 12, 2013, the International Olympic Committee made a decision to drop wrestling as one of the core sports of the 2020 Olympics due to internal politics. Since this decision, Gable has used his fame to lobby against the decision and formed the Committee for the Preservation of Olympic Wrestling. This decision has raised a sleeping giant, according to Kathy Gable. See also: Iowa Sports Hall of Fame. Bibliography, Borman, Wayne. 1987. Wrestling on and off the mat. Wayne Borman. ISBN 978-0-9618446-0-8, Chen, Albert. 2014. Where Are They Now? Catching Up with Dan Gable and Larry Owings, Sports Illustrated, Gable, Dan. 2015. A Wrestling Life, The Inspiring Stories of Dan Gable. University of Iowa Press. ISBN 978-16093833404, Hammond, Jairus K. 2005. The History of Collegiate Wrestling. National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum. ISBN 978-0-9765064-0-9, Moffat, James V. 2007. Wrestlers at the Trials. Exit Zero Publishing. ISBN 978-0-9799051-0-0, Smith, Russell. 1973. The Legend of Dan Gable. Medalists Sports Education Publication. Tavoral, Nolan. 1997. A Season on the Mat. Simon & Schuster. ISBN 978-1-4165-3553-9. References. External links, official site, Dan Gable official interview, website of film Catch, The Hold Not Taken, Dan Gable's U.S. Olympic team bio, Gable's wins and losses between the years 1963 and 1973, 1, 2, 3, 4.